I invite you to take your pew Bibles. Prophet Isaiah, chapter 9. We'll read verses 2 through 7. It's number 555 in your New Revised Standard Version. Beginning with verse 2, under the heading, The Righteous Reign of the Coming King. The people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. Those who lived in the land of deep darkness, on them the light has shined. You have multiplied the nation. You have increased its joy. They rejoice before you as with joy at the harvest, as people exult when dividing plunder. For the yoke of their burden and the bar across their shoulders, the rod of their oppressor, you have broken, as on the day of Midian. For all the boots of the tramping warriors and the garments rolled in blood shall be burned as fuel for the fire. For a child has been born for us, a son given us. Authority rests upon his shoulders, and he is named Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. His authority shall grow continually, and there shall be endless peace. For the throne of David and his kingdom, he will establish and uphold it with justice and with righteousness. From this time onward and forevermore, the zeal of the Lord of hosts will do this. For this promise of old, we give thanks, this promise of old that has been revisited, reclaimed, reinterpreted down the ages. The people who lived in darkness have seen a great light. Loving God, we welcome the coming of Christmas. We welcome the opportunity to gather one with the other. We welcome the opportunity to sing the carols, to touch the joy. Stay with us as we consider our relationship with you, your place in our lives and our place in your world. Amen. So, it's no great revelation to stand before you and say, teenagers can be irritating. When our oldest son, Aaron, it's been a long time since Aaron was a teenager, but when he was a teenager, he loved to irritate his younger sister and his younger brother on Christmas morning. They were excited and up and ready to go. Aaron would irritate them by sleeping in. We can't do anything until Aaron gets up, and Aaron's still in bed. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock, before His Highness would deign to join the rest of the family. Well, things come full circle. Aaron has children of his own now, Aaron and Teresa. Henry, who is 9 and was born on Christmas Day. So Aaron, who used to sleep in on Christmas, now has a child celebrating both birthday and Christmas on Christmas. Do you think Aaron gets to sleep in? As the 4 o'clock in the morning text from him would indicate, that Henry is up and ready to go. Things go full circle. Just about 2 years ago, Aaron's youngest child, our first granddaughter, Eleanor Grace Hopkins, was born. One of my early memories of Eleanor was crowding around her, looking down at her. She is so beautiful, she is so precious. And discussing as we moved and waved and smiled and tried to get some response or attention, wondering, does she see us? We could see her, clearly we could see her. But does she see us? And just some cracks or movement or smile or response would give us an indication that she sees us. To be seen. To be seen is one of the great gifts of life. To be seen, all of us, is one of the great needs of life. In being seen, there is belonging. In being seen, there is salvation. Though whales are among the Earth's largest mammals, they are small when compared to ocean-going ships. And whales often perish when they collide with these large vessels. There were 70 fatal collisions recorded off the California coast from 2007 to 2020. 49 of them involving endangered or threatened species. Thus, a new effort named Whale Safe has been launched. A device called a hydrophone sits on the ocean floor off the coast and listens to the calls among whales as they swim and feed. It transmits this information to a buoy on the surface, which in turn relays it to the shore, where the location of whale calls and sightings are superimposed over the routes of ships, helping the ships to avoid collisions with the whales. This hydrophone helps the ships see the whales, ensuring their well-being and their safety. Even for whales, there is safety, there is salvation, there is life in being seen. The prophet Isaiah seems to understand this. Those that have walked in darkness have seen a great light. And there follows a proclamation of hope. Proclamation of hope then, a hope now. Isaiah connects this being seen to a child that will be born. The child is a sign that we are seen. A promise that we are seen, a covenant that we will be seen. To be seen. To be seen certainly by the Creator of all. There is safety in that. There is joy in that. There is salvation in that. Christmas Carol. Tiny Tim. Tiny Tim, this crippled child, understood the importance of being seen. In a dialogue with his family, as Tim and his father, Bob Cratchit, return home from church, Bob talks about that Tim finds it pleasant to be seen at church because he is a reminder to all there of the one who healed the lame and helped the blind to see. That Tiny Tim appreciated being seen and being seen was a benefit to him, but a gift to others. There is safety, salvation in being seen. Being seen was the promise of the prophet Isaiah to the people of his time. The child born in Bethlehem is a sign that the God of all sees us and sees us well. The Gospel of John says, "No one has seen God, but we have Jesus to represent the one we do not see," a sign that the unseen one sees us. Being seen, safety, salvation, hope, meaning. A couple of times a week, Karen and I get up early and go to a gym. We take a spin class together, on the stationary bikes. I love riding a bike where you don't have to wear a helmet, or Our instructor is Michelle, a Latinx woman. Last week, Michelle called Karen aside, and I saw that they were having a warm conversation. Afterwards, I said, "Karen, what did Michelle say to you?" And she said, "Well, she was talking about at the club Christmas party, when we, Karen and Michelle, were in line at the drink table together, and the server said to Karen, 'What would you like?' And Karen said, reference to Michelle, 'No, she was here first, serve her.' And Michelle was telling Karen how much that meant to her. And her words were that as a woman of darker skin, as a Latinx woman, I am not always seen. And you saw me. I appreciate that." The message of Christmas is that every last one of us is seen. Seen not always by those around us, seen not always by the most powerful of society, seen not always even by the leaders of a church, but seen by the Creator of all, made known as a baby in a manger. Those that walk in darkness have seen a great light, and in return are seen. In that there is hope. Amen.